How do two people who've never directed a film before in their lives direct a film?
Well, I don't know. We're really learning as we do it. That's what's nice. We've been given a whole feature film to learn how to make films on.
They're pretty good. Yes, they're pretty good. They're both very visually orientated. They're very aware of picture composition and so forth.
Ingmar Bergman's going to be jealous of this one.
And there's a slight joke about us that we make about them, that the jokes tend to be a bit secondary to whether it looks good, you know. So we keep sort of, when they say more smoke, and this kind of thing, because we've hardly had a shot yet when we haven't had smoke or some artificial effect, we tend to ask them how many laughs there are in the smoke, you know, just to keep them, as it were, thinking of that. But that's the only criticism I've made.
Up with the cow as high as you can to start with.
You've got your questions ready.
I know I've got my questions ready. Which of these questions would you most not like to answer?
The first couple of days, we just sort of leaped into it, and immediately, I mean, we'd first of all chosen an impossible location. It was about a half a mile up Glen Coe, so everything had to be humped by Sherpas up the mountain. We got up there, the very first shot of the film, the big moment, the camera turns and it jams. So we didn't have a sound camera, and all our great laid plans were suddenly up in the air. And we panicked, and we just had to try to get a film made suddenly on the spot, because we had this incredible location, no camera, and no experience. That's the worst thing.
They're doing a grand job. Well, I mean, I love, you know, I mean, I can't say anything. I adore them all, and I think everything they do is so well. But they know they're working very well together, and it works.
Where's the other Terry now?
He's directing the film.
Charlie, you come to this mark there, to where Suko is. Suko even further.
No, this
We do tag team directing. And he finishes that, he'll come out here and exhaustedly tap me on the shoulder, and I'll rush into action, and away we'll go.
And what other things do you do apart from make the tea and things like that?
Oh, the tea, yes, that's very, and the buns I have to do a lot of. Well, I don't know, it's a dog's body job, actually, directing. I think it really has just got to organise things and work out what you're doing in the morning, and it's a very thankless task.
But I mean, you're all treating them with proper respect.
Well, I mean, there's never been any mutual respect within the Python group at all, as you probably know, but we're withholding a lot of the criticism that we would normally be making.
Yeah, right. It's just funny, or yeah. Bedover's helmet's here, and so is Robin's. I haven't liked it.
Hi.
Turn around, we watch anything, look out for it.
Okay.
There are big theories, actually.
Is my flight there?
No, I like them. Some stage, not now.
Everybody together.
Can you give me a brief synopsis of the film? Is that possible in the space of half an hour or so?
Well, I don't think it is, really. I don't think it is.
Well, try in then 30 seconds.
Right. It's about a search for the Holy Grail, see, which is a large sort of creature, a bit like a dodo, with a big beak. And people are trying to find this Grail.
Do they?
No. No.
Isn't that rather a letdown? Don't you feel
It's
the
a big
audience...
letdown. The whole film is a great anticlimax.
I see, and that starts fairly soon after the credit titles, does it?
It does, yes. Starts in immediately.
In immediately, after the
Yeah.
census certificate.
In comes the anticlimax.
Which do you think is most important?
No, which do you think are most important?
Which do you think are
We'll end board this.
I'm surprised to see how very closely you are sticking to the script. Is this an essential, do you think?
Yeah, I think with Python we usually do stick fairly closely to the scripts, actually. They're usually pretty carefully worked out, because they're so involved usually. You have to stick, you know, you have to work everything out in advance.
We went away and wrote bits and came back and put them together into a first draft. This is probably 15 months ago, I think. Not more than 10 or 15% still remains. And then we sort of went on playing with it and got it into one shape. And In that shape, half of it was medieval and half of it was modern. And by this time we got the idea that it should be something about the Holy Grail. And then we suddenly said, let's go for the whole thing as medieval Holy Grail. And so we then did another rewrite and then a fourth one. So this is about the fourth, fifth draft, as it were. It was a very slow process because we never knew where we were going until we were nearly there.
It's very scripted. Very scripted. As ever, yes, it's very scripted. And then we get together and just about 10 minutes before a take, the script is slightly rewritten. About 5 minutes before the take, it's fairly radically rewritten. So, in fact, at the very last minute, there's usually some little extra bits creep in.
Shit. We cut. We cut.
Yeah, hold your position, please.
Would you still
have said
up?
I
don't think I can read your writing.
Hello. If you were offered a starring part in Dixon of Dock Green or Match of the Day, which would you accept?
Very good, isn't he? Much better than me.
How much rivalry is there between you and the other knights? I mean, they must be pretty jealous of you all the while lording it over them.
Yes, this crown that I wear, you see, is very sparkly and glittery and...
Oh, you're not wearing your crown now?
Not at the moment, no.
That was it.
No, this is for playing Biggles. I wear this.
I know this is a silly question, but how does Biggles fit exactly into the search for the Holy Grail?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't fit in at all. It's one of the big problems we've had with the plot and writing it. We just couldn't get Biggles in, really, and I don't know what we're going to do about it.
I'm surprised, though, you didn't have this written into your contract.
What?
That Biggles should appear, and then you wouldn't have had this problem, you see.
Yes.
Part of the publicity, I think, says that your film is going to make Ben-Hur look like an epic.
What first attracted you to the idea of doing an epic?
Oh, well, I've always admired Charlton Heston's work, you know, and his body, so I thought, well...
I'm interested in the way this film has been backed financially, because you haven't got the usual sort of backers. You've got the Pink Floyd and
a lot of rock money, yeah, because that's I mean, I think that's a hardcore Python fans. You know, we've got Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, we've got a lot of record companies, Ireland, Chrysalis, Charisma, and Michael White, the theatre producer. And you know, that's I think they are the real hardcore Python freaks. You know.
Hello.
Hello. Who is it?
It is King Arthur, and these are my knights of the Round Table.
You're involved musically. What are you exactly contributing to the film?
Terror and heroics at certain points to really do a job, you know, with the music to sort of either create the lump in the throat or make the back hairs stick out.
Castles did you look at before you decided on Dune?
Oh, we did a lot of castles, Tony. I think we did every castle in the country, actually.
It is a good castle, actually.
Nice thing about this castle is it has a lot of interiors which are still original, where they haven't put up sort of phony banners and odd banqueting tables, you know, holding sort of medieval banquets on Saturday nights and this sort of thing. So it was perfect from our point of view. They were very authentic looking, and it was ideal.
Who do you think you are, Errol Flynn?
It's gone to your head, you television interviewer. Get back!
Go and tell your master that we have been charged by God with a sacred quest. If he will give us food and shelter for the night, he may join us in our holy quest for the Grail.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He's already got one, you see.
What?
He says they've already got one.
Are you sure he's got one?
Oh, yes, it's very nice.
Well,
What's it like being a film star?
I'm not. Just an extra, really.
You're just an extra?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the crown and this that probably
Yeah, I was looking
makes
for
you
Graham
think. Ah, yes, he's around somewhere.
Is he?
Yes, here he is.
can we come up and have a look?
Of course not. You're English pigs.
What part do you play in this epic?
Well, so we decided that this was not the Galahad we intended, so I've become this rather chunky motorcyclist figure, which you see before you.
Very becoming.
Very becoming indeed.
How many pufters in the unit?
Only one that I've detected. And, but we're not made for each other, you know.
I've played all sorts of things with Monty, from sort of young girls to old ladies, from men to nuns to what have you. And they came to me with a script and they said, "Oh, Carol, this one is going to be a bit difficult. This you might have to work at a bit." And I said, "What is it?" I said, "Oh, Carol, I don't know if you're going to be able to carry this off." I said, "What? What is it?" It said, "A 19-year-old virgin, Carol." So I'm trying my best. I think maybe I've pulled off half of it. Don't ask me which half.
I double as the unit doctor and several extras as well.
What sort of complaints have you had so far?
About me personally?
About you personally.
Everybody's in the film. That's the incredible thing. In almost every shot, everybody's playing about two characters. So people are always having backs to cameras and things like that, trying to hide the fact that it's somebody who isn't in fact that character doing it. It's gotten weird. There were a couple of days where we actually couldn't keep track of who was who, because you couldn't do one shot because John had to be somebody else, so we couldn't do that shot. So we had to do that shot, which meant moving the camera over there, which meant changing that there. We got it done though.
The cow is in fact John Cleese's double.
John Cleese's
yes,
double, I
doubles
see.
for the scenes, you know, the back shots. And
Is there a serious John Cleese inside? You try and get out?
Yes, there's a serious somebody inside everybody.
What part are you playing in the film?
Really? Does this come very hard, or have you found it's gotten easier over the 2 weeks?
It's difficult.
Difficult?
Yes.
And have they forced you into this, or is this something that...
They asked me to do dirty things.
They ask you to do dirty things? Like what? I mean, can you tell me some of the things they want you to do? Oh, that's outrageous. I mean, haven't you told Equity about it?
Yes, but Equity asked me to do it too.
They asked you to do it too? I think that's outrageous. I mean, haven't you appealed to the director?
Yes.
Who's the director?
The director asked me to do it too.
And they don't understand that here they have the greatest natural acting talent since John Barrymore, and all they're asking you to do is to sleep with the producer. I think that's...
If you will not show us the Grail, we shall take your castle by force.
I blow my nose on you so-called King Arthur. You and your silly English niggits.
Strange person. Now look here, my good man.
I don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal, foot trough wiper. I fought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Is there someone else up there we can talk to?
No. Now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Now this is your last chance. I've been more than reasonable.
They threw a dead sheep at me. It had been dead for about 3 weeks, I think, and it smelt rather a lot. Then I had to do my lines sitting next to it for the next 2 hours, and then run up to the castle door, bang on the door, and have human ordure thrown all over me. A lot of it very diarrheic, and it was rather wet and cold. And then they made me run out of the lake after that. It was great fun.
Nobby, when we're shooting, it'd be nice if you used the rubber hammer, OK?
I need hardly ask, as far as the contracts are concerned, if there's a sanity clause.
No, there isn't. No sanitary clause either.
You don't
Absolutely
believe
no
in
sanitary clause.
You don't believe in sanity clause?
Sanitary?
Sanity clause.
Oh, sanity. I was saying it was a filthy film. No, I don't believe in that at all. Nor sanitization.
Right. Speed that he can take.
The car needs to go much higher to clear the frame.
Let's start here. And...
That's the only problem with the score for the film is, you know, surviving being an extra. I seem to have the heaviest pack, it's a great big pack, and a cow as well.
You seem to be enjoying that sandwich. Are you enjoying the filming?
No.
Not at all?
No, I hate filming.
There's no joy in it for you at all?
No joy at all.
Not even in your butty?
I like butties, yes.
But not filming?
But not filming.
What do you find is the most difficult part of sustaining the effort?
Oh, sort of getting up, really.
In the morning?
Yes, and putting the clothes on.
John, apart from being interviewed by Film Night, what are the real horrors of filmmaking on location?
Apart from the interviews, well, there's the sheer discomfort, the sheer...
Am I too
physical...
heavy?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
No, move up a little bit. That's better. That's better.
How do you prevent boredom from creeping in?
Whoa, I don't really. Boredom creeps in daily. We sit in our renter van, you know, and think what we could be doing if we weren't making films.
But anyway, you're enjoying yourself.
Well, back to your round table. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much.
Film Night with Idol, end board.